Where did I put my phone? My phone's there.
Good morning. Welcome to the morning show. I am your host, Barbie Latavisi, and I am so honored to have Mr. Nigel Smart with us today. We are at the top of the hour. We will be discussing foundations for change in our lives. We lead such hectic lives, and I thought that mastering your morning would be an ideal topic to discuss with my good friend. Good morning, Mr. Nigel. How are you this
Hey there, Bob.
morning? Second take.
Greetings to California. Take two.
Yes, take two.
Take two. And greetings from cloudy but becoming sunny Pennsylvania here near Philadelphia. So yes, got this English accent, but here very happy living in rural Pennsylvania in pretty Chester County. So how's things with you out in sunny San Diego?
You know what? It's been a rainy evening, and it appears like the sun is trying to peek out. I am not sure that we're going to get this in the coastline. For those who may not know, I live in sunny San Diego by the coastline in an area called Carmel Valley. So it's right in between Del Mar and Torrey Pines. But it's really beautiful here, and I am so grateful to be here with you, Mr. Nige, who he and I
love Torrey Pines. Spent a lot of time there on the beach. It's a beautiful part of the country for anybody that doesn't know. So some nice golf courses there, isn't there, in Torrey Pines? I think they did the US Open there some time ago.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great place for surfing, isn't it, I think?
Absolutely. When that tide is high, and this week it has been rather high. We've gone out a couple of times, and it's a little frigid, but nonetheless, I am grateful to be living in the coastline. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's cool. It's nice.
Yeah. How's the weather there?
It's coming. It's like the sun hasn't got his hat on yet. It's February. It's late January. It's actually quite a nice day. The sun is peeking through. I still got my wood to get in. I had a big delivery of wood. I love to have wood fires in the evening. So I mean that's one of the nice things about living out here is we can have these big wood fires. So I'm going to be trying to get one of my boys to help me haul that in. And last night we had a massive wood fire. Very, very cozy, very, very seasonal. I always love California, but it's very seasonal out here. It's nice to have wear the different clothes and things like that. Where to wear a jacket. I don't think I think it's just nice. Great.
And that's what I miss. That's what I miss about the South. As you know, I'm from the South, and I love the seasons. And here we get them. I mean, it's kind of nice. You can go golfing, you can go skiing, you can go surfing all in the same day. But it's just something about seeing the beautiful leaves drop, the changes of the season, and the humidity.
So how's Babette, your new doggie? How's
Babette is doing great. She's somewhere around here. Yeah, I think she's napping. But
my two have eaten and they're asleep as well. My big 90-pound hounds, my two Old English sheepdogs, they're usually in here with me in my sunroom, but they're sleeping somewhere else with the children, I think.
Well, that's great that you bring that up, because I wanted to ensure that our viewers today understand that we have many, many similarities. Mr. Nigel Smith, is about to wrap up his book. And we are rooting for him. He's going to be a bestseller also. And he also has been divorced like I have. He has a lot of experience as a single gentleman and very busy with work. He multitasks. He has children and he's got his pets. So he and I share a lot that we're hoping to share with many of our audience in the next 30 days. And we just wanted to just share with you some of our rituals, some of the things that we do as single parents that may be able to be of help or assistance to you that you may be able to consider to do in your own lives. And that's kind of what we wanted to talk about with you this morning. We're just going to take a little bit of your morning time, if you would just stick around with us and just consider some of our thoughts. And likewise, we would love to hear from you in the chat what you have what you think, what you believe that maybe perhaps we can contribute to the show and maybe have a little interaction. So today we are doing this on Zoom, but we are going to master it on Facebook, and hopefully we can interact and do and serve you in the best capacity possible. So today we're going to talk about the foundations for change and how we master our morning. And I'm going to have Mr. Nigel take it away with how he goes about mastering his morning.
Well, it's interesting. I like you, I do a little bit of pre-evening setup. I kind of visualize my day or my week that's coming. I'm a big believer in trying to set things up and set yourself up for success, rather than, as Tony Robbins says, if you do nothing, you deserve what just shows up. And I've never been somebody that wants to just have what shows up. I mean, I am a spontaneous person. But I also like to plan. I know that seems like a bit of a dichotomy, but I think you can be still very, very spontaneous. But set yourself up for success. Make sure you get a good night's sleep. Sometimes through work that's difficult, I know. But what I like to do when I get up in the morning is stretch. I think I one of the things I like to do is vintage race car drive. Some years ago, I had a bad car accident which damaged my back, and so I had to work very, very hard with a chiropractor and doctors to make sure that my spine wasn't damaged permanently. And so part of my routine is stretching, which I do a lot of. I do martial arts, as you know. I'm a multiple black belt in Taekwondo, and so I've learned a lot of things from my masters, my senseis. Yeah, my sensei taught me a lot. Master P here in Westchester, and he taught me a lot of really cool things, which has really ensured that my back never has a problem. So the first thing I do in the morning is get up and stretch. I stretch laterally and also vertically. I do maybe a good 5 minutes worth of stretches. When I do martial arts, it's 15 minutes. Because you really have the possibility of damaging muscles or have you pulling hamstrings, etc. But after that, what I do is hydrate. Hydration, I think, is one of the most important things for your skin and your muscles. So I hydrate, and the thing that I love to drink lots of is water, not sodas. I mean, I do drink other power drinks too when I'm working out, but I like water that's got ice, that's got lemon in it. And I also drop a couple of sprigs of mint in. It gives a really nice, refreshing flavor. Mm-hmm. It's very refreshing. It's very quenching, Barbie. It's very, very nice. So I'll drink like 8 ounces of that. And then I like you, I'm a big mindset person, and we're going to talk a lot about mindset. So I go into my affirmations. I know a lot of people don't like those, but I know it's not your thing. But affirmations is one of my things. It's driving thoughts and habits into my mind. And one of the things that I like to do is to be a winner. I like people to win. I like to get that mindset into their brains that they're winners, they're not losers. You only lose if you're not learning. You only lose if you're not growing. So absolutely. To create that, tell yourself you're a winner. Tell yourself you're a winner in your health. Tell yourself that you're a winner in your business or your finances, a winner in your relationships. And then I always finish it off with, I'm a winner in life, because that's everything. And then say, winner, winner, winner. So I drive that maybe about 10 times into my head, maybe when I'm looking in the mirror in the bathroom. And then what I do is I shut my eyes and I visualize. I visualize being a winner. I visualize things. I'm a big believer in things like vision boards, but I don't have a vision board in my bathroom. But when I do my affirmations, then I visualize what it is I've just been driving into myself, because your mind doesn't know the truth. If you tell it the same thing often enough, it will start to believe the reality of what you're telling it. I can see Babette there.
She just came to me. Good morning, my friends.
Tell us how yours differs from mine. I think there are some similarities, but you have a different take, and it may be a different take for ladies like yourself. But I think,
Yeah,
tell us how you do yours.
I am a single mom and I juggle many responsibilities. And I typically I do the setup, as you mentioned, early in the morning, where I go in and I know what's got to get done. And so I essentially say to myself, okay, these are the things that I'm going to accomplish. And I'm very much about Stephen Covey, about habits. You have to have your quadrants kind of balance. Everything to me has to have some level of balance. So I figure out how much time I'm going to spend with my child, how much time I'm going to allocate towards business, how much time I'm going to allocate towards unpacking, which is a huge project for me. When are my meals going to be prepared? Because I prepare everything. So there's just a lot of juggling. But essentially, in the evenings, I just sit and I think, let me breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, and release. And I keep on doing that until I feel truly refreshed, where I can think for myself what is going to happen the next day. And much like you, in a roundabout way, I visualize. And to me, it's a lot about life is how do you impact others. I know right now we're restricted in COVID. So my only responsibility really is, unless if I go to the grocery store to shop and I say, hi, how's your day? With the people that work there, I typically make it a point in my day to figure out something that I can teach my daughter. And that's something that I also implement. But essentially, after I do my breathing exercises in the evening, I stop and give gratitude for all the things that surround me. And I do the same thing. It's almost like a dual thing. I do it in the evenings and I do it in the mornings. But I find that that keeps me very grounded and grateful for the many things that just the tender mercies, so to speak, that just fall in my lap, that I'm just going, wow, how did this in the world happen? And so I feel really, really fortunate for everything that surrounds me, even encountering you, how we're so similar, and in our new venture that we want to impact lives, because we're so incredibly passionate about instilling in people that they are of worth, that they can come out of whatever darkness they may be in. So, that's always in the forefront, but I also have responsibilities. And one of the things that I do in the morning, first thing, aside from waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and walking the dog out,
You're a crazy woman.
yeah, the responsibilities, I write my to-do list. And the beauty to this to-do list is that as I go throughout my day, I am able to scratch off and see and I get a sense of accomplishment, as opposed to just sitting there and saying, oh, it's just going to be another day. So to me, it's really beautiful to see things outlined, and I don't deviate from that because I'm on a mission to get as much accomplished. Let's say, for instance, I'm working towards a weekend that I just want to go out and just play all weekend. I'm working towards that goal. So that's kind of what my routine is. And I love the stretch part of it too. I do. I raise my legs up while I'm in bed as I'm doing all of these things in my mind, just trying to wake up. And
you have back problems too, don't you?
I do.
You have spine
I have
problem.
chronic. And the doctor wanted to operate, and I said, no, it's not going to happen. And you're very right about not only just waking up to dehydrate yourself with the water. And I love the combination that you put with the lemon and whatever.
The mint is the killer. I mean, that's the thing that really just makes it so much better.
But you process that through your liver, and it's just healthy. Not only does it keep you young because you're hydrated, it just helps you. It's almost like an awakening. People don't realize that you don't really need coffee to get you up in the morning. You just need to put that right first thing in the morning through your system, and you are awakened, and breathe in and breathe out, and you just get that energy. And if you're on a mission to get your things done, and write them down, you would be amazed at what you can accomplish. So yeah, that's to answer. That's typically what I do. I am a mad woman. You know, I have to manage a whole bunch of different.
You are crazy.
So I have to do it all. And when I
Yeah.
go down in the evening, that's why to me, I'm so wound up throughout the evening that when I go in and I start to breathe in and breathe out, it's my time when I'm
The breathing is an important thing, isn't it? I'm thinking back to some of the yoga classes I've been at. I mean, the breathing again it's a balancing thing. It's taking that down and adjusting your sort of vibration of you know, away from that kind of negative alpha state and getting into that higher state of gamma vibration that people talk about. It's very, very grounding. I think that it's important for people not to think of you though as a person that's driven by lists. I don't think you're that. It's a case of, but you are prioritizing like the main things. I think we can all become slaves to our lists if we're not careful. And I was going to say that I know one of the things that you and I have started to do this year is that to-done list. And what is a to-done list? What is he talking about? To-done list is the stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. Is it really that important? Is that stuff that we can throw away? Are there things that we've been doing that, you know, we don't need to do anymore? So we strike those off. I take maybe a fluorescent marker and strike them off. And that way you shrink the list of things that's really important to you. And the absolutes that you need to do to move that personal needle forward. I know, he's adorable.
That you're getting so big. So yeah, she keeps on, you know, she's teething. So she's like biting on my finger and it hurts. After a while, I've got to get her.
Yeah.
But that I am talking to my friend. He's got the cutest dogs. Maybe one day he can show us his beautiful dogs. He's got some cute eyes. But yeah, I totally agree, you know, and I'm hoping that in the next 30 days, which we have committed to doing this, that we can share a little bit of ourselves with the world. And, you know, we have great mentors that have helped us, but you know, some haven't gone through some of our life experiences. And
that's
so
true.
I thought that, you know, we have such different perspectives, although we're very similar. We walk the same path of life, but I thought this would be just wonderful to just share a little bit of ourselves with those who may need a little extra zest in their life, you know?
Absolutely. And it's the boy-girl thing, isn't it? It's this idea, it's this John Gray thing, the Venus and Mars thing, you know, maybe, you know, I don't know who's Venus and who's Mars because we're both crazy, I think. But no, I think it brings a perspective. I think, you know, if we can bring some change to people's lifestyles or the way they're doing things, I think we're both creatures of habits and rituals. And I think what we would like to do is to spread that sort of idea of habits and rituals. And if we can kind of nudge people into things, you know, this time of the year, there's a lot said about, you know, New Year's resolutions, and we all know that those things don't work. You need to get yourself into a habit. I don't think we're trying to destroy people from being spontaneous, but I think what we're trying to realize, and what we've realized in life, and as we've looked at other people that are happy and successful, fulfilled even, there are traits and things that they do that maybe a lot of people are not aware of. And so I think one of the things that we wanted to do when we talked about doing this was, look, you know, we've come at life from two different directions. You know, we've both gone through incredible challenges, especially from a relationship point of view. And we both come through. I think we're both pretty sane and crazy at the same time. And so there's a lot of information. You're now this fabulous international bestseller on Amazon, plug of your book. And I'm hoping to join you maybe there in the next month or so. As
you will absolutely do so.
As mine comes up for
you got to tell yourself what you say to yourself is what comes true.
Absolute. We both believe that what you visualize and what you think about, you create. And so I think we're both going to create some interesting dialogue for people. And I think that's the goal here is, you know, there's something great about doing things bigger than yourself and being, I think we're both somewhat individual, but I think we also like to be part of something bigger, a part of a team, part of a, I think we're both team players to some extent, having different traits and individual skill sets. But when you see that interacting and when you see that affecting an outcome, I think it's just so rewarding. And it just makes you feel personally, you feel better than if you've done something for yourself. And we see so many people that are really struggling with mindset, with stress, with anxiety. How am I going to cope? How do we juggle? How do we juggle? And I think if there are some things that we can show that how we're dealing with it, then that's going to make me feel good. And I know the same for you. And we'll take it from there.
Serving, it's always, it's enlightening to the soul, you know, anytime we're
it is, isn't it? It is. And I think one of the things that we thrive off is feedback. I think we thrive on hearing about, we'd like to hear about what other people are struggling with.
Absolutely. Then, and that's why we want to do the live thing, you know?
Yeah.
Have interaction and
so that we can think about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I know from you and I have talked, our collective perspectives of the things that we've dealt with, I think it's fair to say that we can throw some light on and help some people. But we're learners, life learners ourselves, aren't we? And
Absolutely.
I think that one of the things that
it never
excites
stops.
us, I think we're excited by the prospect of learning actually from people that we're maybe helping. So this becomes an interactive thing and something that becomes very enjoyable.
Yeah, and you know, right now when the divorce rate has skyrocketed, COVID, and it's really interesting to see the caseload magnify.
Yes.
The courts would rather see couples settle out of court amicably. I know that firsthand. I see it. I've got friends that are in the system after having litigated for 13 years and lived it and spent thousands of hours in the courtroom seeing all the beautiful colors that there are in families, the beautiful dynamic colors. You know, I know firsthand what it feels like to undergo it alone. It is very dark, and your spirit, when you don't have the support there, that's why I feel like this is going to really help many families. You know, our objective, I think, is just really to keep families together ultimately. You know,
it would be great, wouldn't it?
That
would be great.
Because it's never greener on the other side. We know that.
Rarely,
you know?
rarely.
Only in certain
and a lot of people, I was going to say, Bob, a lot of people exchange one set of problems for something else. And also, you know as well as I do, if you don't figure out what your problems were, then you're going to repeat those problems with the next person. And so I think one of the things that we want to do is help people get control of their own minds.
Identify what that is.
Yeah.
And learn to overcome it, because it's a practice that you must do on a day-to-day basis. You catch yourself and you're like, no, I'm not going to go there. If you're negative minded, stop. You know, even if it means you put a wristband and you hit yourself as a reminder what you have to do throughout the day. There's various ways to cope with it. But absolutely. I just know that many families, and this is why we come here, because we want to impact lives. Ultimately, that is the absolute goal. And whatever it takes, you know, even just knowing sometimes how to say no, you also have to set limitations. Not only your to-do list or your to-done list, you've got to also say no to a lot of the things. And we're going to talk about that. Pardon?
Isn't that weird? I think you and I probably over the years, over our lives, we're can-do people, aren't we? And so we say yes to everything. And I think, again, aligned with this to-done list, it's not mean to say no. It's sometimes you have to say no because saying yes means that you're not contributing on the things that you have said yes to because you're spread too thin. And I think I think both of us to some extent are learning to say no today. And I find, probably like yourself, I find that difficult to do, because when people ask you, it's like you don't want to be unkind, but sometimes to be kind, you have to say no. Otherwise, people won't help themselves. And I think one of the things that we'd like to do is to help people empower themselves and realize that they have more power in themselves than they really realize. I think that's probably, certainly for me, was the motivation to put my book together.
Oops, Nigel, you went away.
I know, I'm coming back.
There you are.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
I
think that was a
beautiful accent, and I missed you.
I think I was just going to finish there quickly. I think that was, so many people asked me, can you help me? You seem to come through things a lot easier than most of the people that I know. Can you help me? And I know probably you've told me the same thing, that was a great motivation for both of us to put our books together, to try and make a difference. That was certainly a big motivation for me.
Yeah, touch lives and serve others, and it's reciprocated. You never know whose path you're going to cross along the way, and it's really a blessing. You never know. I mean, I've stumbled upon so many experiences in life where I've helped others, and I feel empowered. I feel like a Wonder Woman, and you're only helping others. It's just a beautiful transformation that happens when you extend yourself to others and serve them. So what we're going to do, we are going to be here live with each and every one of those who are willing to listen to our feed, to us on a day-to-day basis for the next 30 days. And we're going to tap in on different discussions that may be able to help improve your lifestyle, your relationships with those whom you hold dear to your heart. And so tomorrow, we are going to discuss no news is good news.
Right.
I'm going to expand that for you a little bit more. We've got this outline dedicated to each and every one of you. And so Nigel, where can we locate you? If someone wants to reach out to you, they can message you or PM you. What is the best way?
They can find me. They can find me on they can find me on Facebook. Just on for now on my personal page, which is Nigel Smart. In relation to an email that I would use for this, is bouncingbackwithnigel@gmail.com.
Isn't that great? Bouncing back with
Nigel @gmail.com. Yeah, that's email I've set up for this, and as you know, it's part of the title of part of the title on my book that's going to be published very soon, and so we'll take it from there. What about you?
Well, before I would turn over to me, will you share what the title to your book is?
Yes, it's Bouncing Back from Divorce for Dads, a strategy. Bouncing Back after divorce, a strategy for dads. So it was really directed at fathers. As I remember telling you, I got asked to help guys that was really struggling, because maybe as people don't realize that there's a heck of a lot of resources for ladies, but there's next to nothing out there for guys. And I'm not crying in my beer or crying victim, but it's a fact. It's one of those reverse disparities that we tend to find in society. But for guys, there's virtually nothing. And so I got asked to contribute to a few things, and that's really when I got asked to write the book and to pitch it for dads. But as you know, we're open. I've had, interestingly, almost as many women that have asked me about the book and about the content as I have guys. because women want to know what's wrong with their guys and what they're dealing with, which I think's, you know, pretty enlightening for ladies to want to do that.
And I think this is beautiful what we're doing, because there's different perspectives. We've walked different experiences, very, very similar, but about, like what you were referring to, being resourceful. You know, there's not a lot of resources, but you've got to become resourceful.
Right.
You've got to figure out a way to get to where you want to go ultimately.
Right.
And so it begins always with the mindset, and that's kind of
it does. If you can shift that, then, you know, there's a process you can go through, and as you know, I've kind of described that. You know, I want to build somebody's future state utopia. What do they want to be with when, you know, we always say to our children, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or that guy, the Twisted Sister song, what do you want to be what do you want to do with your life? I do that with my kids. What do you want to do with your life? And they say, go away, Dad, go away. You're a geek. You know, you're goofy. Go away, you know. But I always think of that Twisted Sister record. What do you want to do with your life?
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do. I mean, everybody has to come to their own realization. So we're hoping to connect with everyone here and get your feedback, because that's super, super important to be able to deliver good content to each and every one of you. So we're at the top of the half hour, and so we're gonna let you go, but we hope to see you here tomorrow. I am your host, Barbie Latavisi, and you can locate
Love that name.
much anywhere. Oh, thank you. I have also created a group named Mr. and Mrs. X. So it's MRS, Mr. with a period, and spelled out, Mrs. with a period, and then the word X. And that's a private group, so I wanted to keep it private for the simple fact that I want people to feel safe in that environment. And we just essentially discuss things, postings. You're welcome to put your posting out there and whatever may be in your mind, and we can just kind of share with one another. Feel free to comment. But for the most part, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, you know, anywhere. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. But I hope to enlighten, we hope to enlighten each and every one of you and bring some good content to you, something that perhaps you may have not considered, and apply it. And not only just to you, but also those who surround you. So everyone's life is at peace, so to speak, you know, with your children and how to manage life. But we'll catch you on the bright side, as I like to say. And Nigel, wonderful seeing you. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time and your wisdom and everything that you shared with us today.
From my heart to yours.
Received.
Bye.
Thank you.